Hey everybody, back out in the shop one more time. Just trying to do a little project here. I've got a fly cutter that I want to modify. Going to use the Bridgeport clone. It's actually a jet model knee mill. Pretty standard system here, but it's works really well for what it does, and kind of still getting the feel for it. I've only had it about 6 months or so, but works really well. It's kind of even though it's an import, it's still a beast of a machine compared to what I'm used to using. But I got this sweet rotary table set up for it, and that's what I'm going to be using to mill. Let me cut some lights on here. You can see what you're doing here. To mill this fly cutter, I'm going to be using the rotary table. And because of that, it's because it's angled here, and in the rotary table because this table actually has an angle system where I can tilt the table up 90 degrees and anywhere in between, and also the chuck itself of course rotates, so I can get it level this way as well as this way, left to right, as far as the twist goes. So I've already done all that stuff. I didn't video anything because it's pretty obvious, but I did take some pictures and I'll post them on the video. But so basically I want to, let's see here, on this side of the slot is what I'm going to open up, on the back side here, in other words. So this side will still be the same because that's the center line of the cutter, and that's where I want my center line of the cutter to be. So I'm going to open the slot up on this side. Right now I think it's got a 3/8 of an inch gap in there, and I've been using one of these guys, just a cemented or bonded brazed carbide tool, which works okay. But I want to use this. It's just a 1/2 inch indexible lathe tool, and I want to use it for the fly cutter. And got a few more options as far as what type of insert and all I use depending on what I'm cutting. But just need to open that slot up about 1/8 of an inch, so not a whole lot. I may go deeper with it too, I'm not real sure. I'll maybe just leave it like it is because there's plenty of meat on there. It'll be fine to leave it like it is, or I could go deeper too, either way. But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing, and obviously that's not really earth-shattering, magical machinist stuff that we're doing, but anyway, I wanted to document it and just give you an idea of what's going on out here. I'll take a few shots of it while I'm doing the milling too, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so that went really well. Had no issues. I was actually able to do it with one pass. I also did a spring pass behind it just to kind of clear it up, maybe another 5/1000ths off of it. But yeah, a little short, stubby. It's a carbide 3/8 end mill, no problem. Yeah, not much to report. Let's see if I can get you a close-up. It's not exactly the most beautiful surface finish in the world, but it's a fly cutter. It'll work. Works like a champ. There's the big cutter in there. It's got about 10/1000ths or so between the walls there. Just enough to move it back and forth. I think it's going to work good. The reason I did this, or the reason I'm spending time on this thing, is you can see this ring right here on the bottom of this. That's a Tormach TTS ring that I have epoxied on this tool. Tormach makes two different type of conversion rings, basically, so that it works with their TTS tooling system. As long as it's a 3/4 inch straight shank, you can they make a press fit they make a press fit unit, which I'll show you as soon as I can find one. There we go. So this is my drill chuck. I had a straight shank for it, but this is an actual Tormach unit that you can buy from Tormach. And this one press fits onto the shaft. I heat it up and then slide it on. And then they make this is like an epoxied on ring. This is a tool holder that I made in the lathe. And I just decided to try a ring on this one, but it's epoxied on. And that's essentially what I've done over here on the fly cutter, because my fly cutter happened to be a 3/4 inch straight shank, and it's just a simple fly cutter, but it works good. So I figured I'd throw a ring on it. That way I wouldn't have to buy another one. And now I've kind of updated it to the indexible cutter, and it should be good to go. The little rotary table worked out just fantastically, excuse me. And I hadn't used it before. I bought it, I don't know. I've had it for a while actually, maybe 5 months. Right after I bought the milling machine, I saw this thing come up on a local Craigslist, and it was from a local machine reseller. Had it, and I got it for a pretty good deal, I thought, $200. It's actually a Walther, oh not Walter unit. There's the label. It's made in Germany, distributed by a company in the US, but it's a pretty old unit. I don't know what year it is, but it's got, this is the only dividing plate I've got with it. I'm sure there's more that used to come with it, but everything else is there. You know, all that good stuff. It's really cool because, like I said before, first of all, it's beefy as hell. I mean, it weighs like 200 pounds. I don't know what it weighs, but I can't put it up there by myself. And I'm a pretty big fella. But it tilts. This is all 1.25 inch thick, solid steel. I mean, it's solid as hell. And this thing tilts, 90 degrees. It's got a little, compass deal here to show you what the degrees are. And of course, it rotates. If you pull this lever down, you can then rotate, the actual chuck. Or if you put it up and then lock it up, this thing stays locked. And I just took about 120 thousandths off one pass on this thing, and this thing didn't flinch, didn't move, didn't do anything. So it's a real nice solid unit. Really happy with that. Unfortunately, like I said, this is the first time I've actually been able to use it. I just haven't had a need for it at this point, but I think from now on, now that I've played with it a little bit, I'll come up with some more stuff to use it for. But that worked out well. So yeah, just a quick little 20 or 30 minute project out in the shop, and I can check this one off the list. So obviously, essentially what I've been trying to do is I am tooling up my both my CNC mill, which is over here. It's a Optimum BF20L, which is real similar to the Grizzly 0704. I'm changing it over to the Tormach TTS tooling system, and I've been converting a lot of my tools either with the rings or, like I said, making my own TTS tooling, or TTS style tooling. Obviously this is something I made here, but I've made a bunch of these. Got a bunch of these eBay special collet holders. I've got 10 here and about 20 more on the way. Yeah, just trying to gather up all the stuff I'm going to need for the TTS tooling system. And I've also decided that since I'm using it on my small mill, I might as well use it on the Bridgeport, because it just makes life a lot easier. So that's what this is actually. This is one of my tools that I've gotten over for the CNC, actually using it in the mill. I just today just got my Tormach TTS R8 collet, so I'm using it. And it's really nice to be able to just crack that drawbar in a quarter turn and have the thing fall out if you need to. So that's pretty sweet. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot.